Good morning everyone and welcome back to yet another video. Today we are riding the Vogue 650 DS. Excuse me for the mess, I'm still cleaning up my garage. The DSX over here, the Griso's over there, and the third bike is at Axels bike shop because I switched them around. So my bike is at their shop and I got this bike on loan to test it out. So this is the Vogue 650 DS. It's a pretty cheap bike, a Chinese bike, and in this video we're going to do a first impressions video, and if you guys like it, please let me know. Then I'll end it again for a couple of days and I will do a full review for you guys. So I'm packing my camera right now. I have my camera with me, my gimbal, my GoPro, and my tripod to make some cool pictures. So the nice thing is that the guys at Axels bike shop, really cool shop by the way, said to me, okay, you should try it out on the dirt roads. So I was like, okay, that's optimistic. I'm a bit of a beginner, of course, with the dirt roads. I do ride a lot on my DSX. As you can see, I need to clean the bike. It's a really messy bike right now. So yeah, he's like, okay, try it on dirt roads, should be very fun. So we're gonna try to find those in the neighborhood. So this bike is a 650 single cylinder. I think it has around 47 brake horsepower. So that means that you have the possibility to ride this bike on a single HU license. So for beginners it's pretty good. I removed the seat yesterday. I need to, so it's in a good position right now. So I think it's the neutral. I'm not sure. No, it's not. Let's try to get it in neutral. Maybe it's better to just push it. So I've ridden this bike yesterday and I had some first impressions, of course. I'm absolutely sorry for the mess. I'm still in the sort of building process of this little garage. So I don't have my full ADV gear on today because I was not planning to do a lot of off-road riding. Yeah. First thing I noticed on this bike when I first tried it, it's pretty low. I think the seat height is much lower than my DSX. So again, for beginners, pretty confidence inspiring. There is a way to have a bit of a higher seat because I do need that because I'm a little bit cramped on the bike right now, but it's okay. And you can actually see that it's Chinese, not in terms of build quality. I think it's okay. It's not the best, but it's not a Ducati, but it's okay. But you can see it. I will show you. Not sure you can see it, but this sticker, I thought it was very funny because it's a translation issue. Pay attention to natural protection when riding in the field. Wear a helmet in riding. Pay great attention to safety. Okay, that one is good. Read user's manual carefully before riding. So we are ridding this bike today. but I thought it was very funny. So it's a pretty cheap bike, not in terms of build quality again. I think it's okay, but it's cheap in terms of the sticker price. It's around 9,500 euros, and you get a full luggage system with that. You can also get a sump guard, some crash bars, which are really on the low side, but I do think they will protect the bike enough. You also get standard a TPMS system, a TFT dash, ABS of course. I think the tank is around 17 liters or 16 maybe, so it's not the biggest tank, but it's a single cylinder, so it's a 650 single, so it should be very economical on B roads. Yeah, so you get a lot for your money, so I think that's the thing that makes it competitive towards, let's say, a Kawasaki 650 versus, or yeah, let's say an MT-07, not an MT-07, sorry, a Tracer 700. But you also need to remind that this bike is more suitable off-road than those bikes I mentioned, because this bike has a standard 17-inch at the rear and a 19-inch at the back, so it's the same rim size, not the same tire size as the BMW GS. So yeah, so it's more off-road orientated. The first gear is almost non-existent, but that's no problem, because yeah, I need to remind myself that this is a single cylinder, not a two-cylinder or even more. So yesterday, the first day that I got it and I rode it, I was like, okay, this is like a Chinese vibrator or something, you know. It vibrates so much, and I was thinking, okay, how is that possible? Is it not built well or something like that? But then I remembered, oh yeah, this is a single 650, and yeah, those things vibrate. So I think it's meant to be used on B roads and also some off-road, and it does have enough wind protection to get you on the highway, but you don't want to be riding faster than 110 kilometers an hour. So yeah, that's the limitation it got. But yeah, because you have a 650, you can keep the price low and add all the accessories. So I do think that Tracer 700 and versus 650 don't have a TFT dash as standard, but I'm not sure. I'm not completely sure. But this one does, so that's a big plus. It has dual pod on the front. I think it's, yeah, those are 2 discs, so it's not a single disc. It has the brakes are from Nissan, and at the rear you also have dual pod Nissan brake, of course. It has an upside down fork, I think, with Kayaba springs, springs. So it's not the cheapest. It does have some how do you say that, quality parts. So, and for that price, I think it's pretty awesome. You don't need to expect, it's not absolutely not comparable with my DSX or with a Yamaha T7 or with a, let's say, a Aprilia Touareg or something like that. It's more comparable to the Versus Tracer 700 and the smaller A2 bikes. So you need to remind yourself of that, of course. I think this bike is from the big company, the big Chinese company Linchin, and Linchin is one of the biggest motor companies in China, I think. That's what I've read. Oh, gravel. no, not really gravel, but some sand. So they know what they're doing, and I do think they make parts for more popular brands like BMW and that kind of brands. So yeah, they're experienced enough. Of course, this is a first impression video, so I can't say anything about reliability or something else. Just first impressions. So one thing that I'm going to do is look at the bike with you guys. Let's check if the camera is still on. Yeah, it's still on. So this is the Voge 650 DS. As you can see, you have a full luggage system, 3-parter. You also have LED lights at the front and an LED at the back. It looks cool. And one thing I noticed yesterday, that it has the running lights, so that's pretty luxurious. I think if you have a Ducati and you want that, you pay 300 euros premium for that. It's on the front and maybe also on the back. Yeah, same. So those things are pretty cool. It's chain different, of course. That's what you get in this price point. Do this up the front, a little sump guard, which is quite beefy, I think. Crash bars, and you can remove the rubber from the pegs. You don't need to use a screw, so that's a plus. That's something that is thought about. This one is not adjustable. Let's see if the clutch lever is adjustable. No, it's not. So that's a bit of a minus. Of course, it's equipped for a passenger. The seat is also possible to raise it up. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I do think they have a really good tire choice on this bike, because the standard tires are Pirelli STRs. So that's a cool thing, because those tires are also supplied on KTMs, on the Ducati DSX, on the Yamaha T7, and those are really good tires for on-road and off-road, if you have dry conditions and off-road, of course. I had them on my DSX and I was pretty happy about them. But I did change them for other tires to do a lot off-road. Oh, one cool thing also is that they have adjustable brake and clutch levers. That's also a big plus. I do think that this logo, the Euro V logo, Euro 5 of course, it's a bit weird. You should remove it. I like the color scheme of this bike. I do like the brown, gold and black, and I do like the look of the bike. It's not an ugly bike, absolutely not. It's pretty okay. So it also has a adjustable windscreen, I think. Let's see how that works. Okay, I'm not sure how that works. It looks like you need to remove the whole thing. But you can't. Should be possible. Yeah, so this is the lowest setting. I will ride it with that, but because I noticed some turbulence on the bike, so hopefully this is better, and otherwise we'll change it again. So that's the Voge 650 DS in its full setup. Test tubeless tires, of course. Just let's ride it some more, and hopefully we'll find an off-road track or something like that. Let's go. Oh yeah, one thing. You get a full set of luggage, and it's pretty good quality. You need to force it a bit, but it's also a new bike. But you should remember that if you want this kind of luggage on your let's say on your BMW GS, you pay around 2,500 euros, and now you get it within the package. So I'm not saying that this is really high quality, but it's a lot of bang for your buck, I think. So let's go. Oh yeah, one thing that I noticed, by the way, is that when you put on the kill switch, it's pretty weird, put on the kill switch and then you can still try to start it. First time that I noticed that. It also has an ABS switch, by the way, but I'm not sure how that works. I'm trying to figure that out. Holding it in, I think now, okay, I'm not sure if it's turned off right now. Yes, it's turned off right now, so the ABS is not working. Let's turn it on again. Okay, you need to push it in, hold it for a couple of seconds, and then you're done. So let's turn the bike around. It does have a good turning circle. And one thing that I noticed is that you have a USB port over here, so you can charge your phone or something like that. So that's pretty cool. I wonder, thanks of course that you're still watching this video. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to grow the channel, and watch time, likes, subscribes, comments are really helpful. I have a big dream to do this full time, so if you could help me with that a little bit, I'm absolutely grateful. But while you're watching, I wonder, what do you think of Chinese bikes? Do you think they're wrong in some way? So you should never buy a Chinese bike? Or do you think, okay, almost every bike or parts come out of China? I do think there's a really big difference in quality control, of course. So that's one thing that you need to remember. I'm sorry for the wind noise. Oh yeah, one thing to know, that this bike, because it's yeah, it's not the most luxurious bike, of course. Still, keep in mind the price. It has a 5-gear gearbox, so you're a bit missing the the sixth gear, especially when you're riding harder than 100 kilometers an hour. But yeah, some compromises have to be made. And also the sound, it's nothing to write home about, but yeah, you can improve that on aftermarket exhaust. But you know, the thing is, with these kind of bikes, and because they are pretty cheap, I think that if I bought this kind of bike, I will almost absolutely change nothing about the bike, because so it will not improve the value of the bike. So why should you do it? And an aftermarket exhaust on this kind of bike, yeah, probably sounds much better. But yeah, I'm not going to do that if I buy this bike. So although you have a adjustable screen, which is better than my Ducati DSX, but you cannot adjust it while riding, and maybe that's a safer option. But you need to remember that you need to stop and adjust it at the front. So yeah, but it's better than my Ducati because it doesn't have any adjustment. I do have a lot of good screens, of course, but an adjustment takes around 15 minutes and I need to be at home with my other screens, so you need to remember that. I do need to adjust the screen a little bit because I don't like the turbulence on it right now. I don't mind it, but if you're making a video, it's good to have less turbulence. It's also a good test to get a little bit of off-road. No, I'm kidding. While I'm doing this, I need to talk about comfort. As I said, the suspension is a bit, yeah, it's pretty okay, I think. But I do think that the seat is, I know hard seats are good to have, but this one is a little bit too on the firm side, I think, in my opinion. It's like sitting on a wooden bench. So I would definitely upgrade the seat. It looks good. The seat looks really good, but I do think it's a little bit too hard. But yeah, that's not a problem. Oh, one thing you need to mind, if you're not tightening that screw, I think you can lose it. Okay, first gear. One thing to know, it doesn't have any riding modes. Let's see if we can get up here. Oh, okay. So that was it. That was the off-road ride for today. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it's still a lot of wind, but I'm on a open field, so it's not a really big surprise, I think. But yeah, so normally when I do a review like this, I have a goal for the day. The goal for today is finding at least 10 meters or maybe 20 of an off-road track near my house. And it should be very easy. But if you know my area where I live, there's not a lot. There's not a lot. So with the previous video I did the full review of the Royal Enfield Super Meteor, which I also got from Axels bike shop. I tried to find cheese in Gouda. I couldn't find it. So I failed my mission, but I did have a good day. So if you want to watch that video, click the link, and I hope you enjoy it. I have to say, in the corners it's pretty stable. I needed to get used to this bike because yeah, the vibrations and that kind of stuff, but the more I ride it, the more I think, okay, this is pretty okay. It's not a bad motorcycle. At first I thought, it was a bad motorcycle, but now I'm beginning to think that it's pretty okay. Oh, need to brake. I was a bit distracted. So cornering is pretty good, and the suspension is also pretty okay when doing this kind of speeds. I'm riding 80 kilometers an hour, so that's around 50 miles I think, and it's okay. Not bad. Not as bad as I thought before. But still no gravel or off-road track to be found near my house. Should I go in the farmer's field? Nah. It's not really nice to do. So I think it's a good time to give a shout out to my friends at Axels bike shop, a really good bike shop that is also a Voge dealer and or Voge, a Vogue dealer, and of course a Royal Enfield dealer, and they sell a lot of other bikes. I do think they are a special kind of shop because they're really laid back. There's no stress, there's no pushing that you should buy that bike, there is no annoying sales pitches or something like that. Just take your time, look at the bikes, and they have a lot of special bikes. I think they are really a shop that I personally really like, because I'm a bit weird considering bike taste. I think I like my Moto Guzzi's, I like my Ducatis of course, but I also like unknown bikes like the Benelli TNG 1130, still one bike that's on my wish list. And yeah, they have those kind of bikes. So they also have the more normal bikes like Harleys or KTM's, BMW GS. They have everything. Yeah, it's a really good shop. So if you're in the neighborhood, please consider to meet them. And if you want a bike like this and you live in the Netherlands, I would definitely highly recommend to go to that shop. Absolutely. Maybe this is a good spot to try a 0 to 60 or 0 to 100. I'm curious how much it will vibrate, but we'll see. Okay, standing still. 1, 2, 3, go. Well, yeah, you can ride fast enough on it, I think. It's not an awfully slow bike. It's not a fast bike, of course, but it's okay. So, one thing that I'm missing on this bike, considering it's a really complete bike, I'm not sure where the handguards are, or they're not on the bike, so they shouldn't be provided with the bike, I think. But all the ADV bikes have standard handguards, and although they are most of the times not very good, they are on the bike. And if you're only riding on the road and you use it as a sport touring or a touring bike, handguards are a pretty nice addition to your comfort. And also, I think it's even possible to have heated grips on this bike, but if you have a TPMS sensor, if you have all the extras that this bike has, I would expect, I know I'm Dutch, I'm never satisfied, but I would expect heated grips or even a handguard, or at least something that looks like a handguard. But yeah, that's the only gripe I have until now regarding options, and it's not really a gripe, of course. So hopefully at the end of this road I will encounter an off-road track. I do think there's something over there, and if I do, I'm really happy and I've succeeded in my mission, and otherwise we'll all find a good spot to make some pictures. I do think the gearbox is, although very clunky, a little bit agricultural. They remind me a bit of my Guzzi's gearboxes. It's pretty okay. It's not bad, not bad at all. It's not buttery smooth like a KTM gearbox or something like that, or something else, but it's okay. I'm using my Ducati, of course, and I'm a little bit spoiled for its off-road capabilities. But standing up, as I said, It's okay. Could use some risers. Could use some risers, but that's it for now. So, overall conclusions of this bike. I think it's a very complete bike if you consider the amount of money you pay. I would definitely not say it's the best bike in the world, but it's good enough. It's nice, it's fun, it's nimble, it's pretty easy to ride, it's approachable for beginner riders. Yeah, I think it's a nice bike. For 9,500 euros you have a pretty complete bike, I think. Let's see if I can get out of it. So for 9,500 euros you have a bike with full pannier set, crash protection, a little bit of off-road capability, some gadgets, ABS. Yeah, it's a complete bike. Would I buy one myself? Good question. I don't think so. I'm not sure if I'm going to buy, if I would buy this if I was in the market for a off-road ADV bike. If I was in the market for a cheap bike that can do about everything, I would consider it, of course. But yeah, in my case I would not buy this bike, and not because it's a bad bike, but just because I don't want this kind of bike. So if you like this video, please consider to give a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment. I wonder what you think about this bike, and if you're interested in this bike, don't forget to give Axels Bike Shop here in the Netherlands a call, and they can deliver it to you. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. My newest video, tap here. If you want to see my recommended video for you, tap here. And if you want to subscribe, tap here. Thanks for watching. Tap here, or tap here.